And now,
it's 10 a.m.
Let's just get down to it.
And it's time for your sports fix.
Strap yourselves in, folks.
From two guys who have covered the teams you're passionate about for years.
We are professionals.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. Thank you for making us part of your Friday, where hopefully we'll see the Canucks lose. They're down 2-1 to the Finns.
It was 2-0. So Canada's mounting a comeback. Mounting a comeback.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah, we know who you're cheering for, Ben. It's fine.
I should probably rooting for Finland here.
It should be rooting against Canada always.
Not always. There are brothers to the north. Like in a war, I want Canada. Not with us, but like with most other countries, I want Canada.
We're talking about the Olympics, Ben. We're not talking about armed conflict.
Oh, okay.
But way to take it to the downer note as usual.
You said always. Always encompasses a lot, you know?
We're talking about the Olympics. And yes, there is. I can't think of a country in the Olympics that I would cheer for
less.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I feel you.
Go Finland.
Yeah, we'll see. Lowry Markkinen would be very happy as he watches ill from his bed.
Yeah, not feeling well, huh?
Apparently. Woke up this morning feeling queasy
nice
or
segue.
something.
That was good.
Yeah, Lowry added to the injury report today for the Utah Jazz. Questionable due to illness. We'll see. As you have said, Lowry's original illness, which struck him, a month ago or so, a little earlier?
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Was
maybe.
quite legit.
Yeah, he was very sick.
And my understanding is it was actually pretty hard for him to get back on his feet. So some of the return to action stuff, as everyone is questioning injury reports up and down the NBA today and over the last several weeks, was apparently quite real. Lowry not feeling very good and having a hard time getting back on the court.
Well, they should just shut him down.
Long term?
Honestly, why even continue with the song and dance? What's the point? I'm sure he really wants to play, but sorry, pal, you're too good.
You're too sick. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can't keep an illness going for several months.
Kristaps Porzingis missed like 2 straight seasons now with a mystery illness. They have identified it since, but yeah, he has something that is not easy to deal with apparently. So you hope Lowry doesn't have that, whatever that is.
Anyway, figure out a way for him not to play. Although I will say, all those things rhymed. I think the fining for tanking is over.
Well, we will see. Last night there was a very interesting thing that happened.
That's not really what I'm alluding to. I'm alluding to the news breaking about the anti-tanking rules coming.
And I think it's all linked together.
I think they've put notice that things are changing at the end of the year, and they will just ride out this year, I would guess, sans fines and say all is fair under the old system and we'll move forward. Now, we can discuss some of those meowing things that they're considering and whether or not they would be effective in the slightest. But as far as this year goes, unless they really do have something personal out for the Utah Jazz, I don't think the fining will continue.
I think it will. If I'm going to argue with you, I think there will be at least a couple more fines that we see before the end of the season. But yes, maybe not the $500,000 fine. Here are some of the things that have been outlined quickly, and we can get to some more points that I think are more topical. But these are ideas they're going to kick around. So yesterday, apparently, Adam Silver sat down with 30 GMs in the NBA, which makes what happened last night even funnier, in my opinion. But he sat down with all 30 GMs, and some of the ideas that they kicked around, they have not voted on any of these, instituted any of these. And there will be pushback from small market teams that do not want all of these things, because there are small market teams that believe their only chance to rebuild is through a draft. That first-round picks can only be protected in a trade, top 4 or top 14, which is the lottery, with the idea they're avoiding what the Jazz are going through right now, which is if a top 8 protected pick, if you trade a top 8 protected pick, the Jazz are going to do everything they can to stay under 8, and that's why we have seen what the Jazz have done for the last 3 years. Another idea is lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date, which is so ripe with holes that I don't think you could institute that. No longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. I think that actually has some legs. I think that's interesting. Teams can't pick top 4 the year after making the conference finals. Interesting. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams, and then you flatten the odds for all lottery teams. A lot of cats.
Oh, and I don't think any of them really work.
I don't think any of them solve it necessarily. Teams are always going to find loopholes because it's worth it. That's the problem. It's so worth it to tank.
Yeah, but the true cats in the wall are the ones that make the situation worse. And, like, you keep protected picks but only top 4. I think in a weird way that makes it worse.
How so?
Well, now I got to really be bad.
Well, the problem is you can't guarantee yourself a top 4 pick, right? Everyone of the worst teams has a 50% chance of top 4 or 5 or later.
Yeah, but now you're getting into when they flatten the lottery odds the first time. Now you're getting into that territory where you're thinking like, oh, the chances aren't that good, so why would teams do it?
Right.
Well, the chances are better.
Yeah, then you've incentivized being one of the 4 worst teams.
I could either kiss it goodbye or I could be as bad as possible to give myself the best chance at it.
Right.
So
I'm really going to fall apart.
So I'm really going to fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean, so you can say, well, why would you do that? The odds are not. You can say that now.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, I was saying that for, I feel like, years. Like you're just going to plan your entire franchise's future around whatever % chance of getting the number 1 pick. You got to figure out other ways to do it because the chances of that aren't that good. Yet, everybody and their dog screamed at me, tank note, tank note, tank note. So now you're also incentivizing not making the playoffs, which does make things worse.
Correct.
So, I don't know.
This is funny because last night, in one of the funnier slaps in the face we've ever seen in the NBA, the Washington Wizards, in a game they were beating the Indiana Pacers, 2 tanking teams, were already without all of their good players. They were without Trae Young. You can argue if he's a good player or not, but he's better than anyone else they're playing. They're not playing Anthony Davis. They rested Alex Sarr last year. Well, they didn't play him or whatever illness he's dealing with, who was the 2nd overall pick 2 years ago and has turned into a fine player. They rested them. Then their starters included Trey Johnson, who some Jazz fans may remember. He was right in that. He was picked right behind Ace Bailey. Mm-hmm. And Keyshawn George, who's probably their best young player outside of Alex Sarr, who wasn't in the game anyways, and started and is their 2nd leading scorer on the season at 17 points a game. They go into the 4th quarter of a game against the Indiana Pacers, leading by 7, and they rest Keyshawn George and Trey Johnson, 2 of their better young players, throughout the entire 4th. Absolutely, obviously, in an effort to lose the game. Exactly what the Utah Jazz did with Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr. Right after a $500,000 fine was levied to the Jazz, right after Adam Silver at All-Star Weekend said, we're going to be keeping an eye on it, and I know it when I see it, and then immediately following a meeting with the 30 GMs from Adam Silver where he said, we're getting rid of tanking, we're not going to see this anymore. That night, the Washington Wizards said, oh, watch this. We're going to do exactly what the Utah Jazz did. Not as high a caliber players, but that's the problem. The NBA didn't find the Jazz for specific rules on high caliber players. They find the Jazz on, quote, you know it when you see it. Well, everybody saw it last night. What is the NBA going to do? They have painted themselves in this corner where they have to find them or they're not going to, and they're going to get made fun of because we know it was arbitrary in the first place. And of course, they're not going to find the Washington Wizards for not playing those 2 players. Those are 2 anonymous guys in the big picture of the NBA. But that is still exactly what they were doing. They were trying to tank that game to lose to another tanking team, and they failed.
I could point to, I don't know, 4 to 5 booted games a night. Mm-hmm. And you're pointing to one specific one. Why did the news break yesterday? Why did that come out yesterday? This is why I think the fines are over. So they don't have to deal with that.
So they don't have to say this is the answer or this is the problem.
They say,
or our solution is finding teams.
They're saying we're fixing the problem in the offseason because it wouldn't be fair to fix the problem now.
Which is accurate.
So we are doing something, Ben. It's not finding. We're done with the finding. The finding didn't work. Laughably.
Yeah.
And by the way, why wasn't he finding all these other examples in the first place? You're still thirsting for some sort of equal playing field justice that just doesn't exist.
Never was going to exist.
Never.
Yeah.
We all, and I mean every radio bozo, every fan, we all knew what a train wreck the end of the season was going to be because, little secret, it's that way every year.
It is.
every single year. So, of course, every night you're going to be able to point to a Wizards or a Pacers or a Jazz or a Grizzlies or whatever who are going to extreme measures to boot basketball games. Mm-hmm. And now they've taken themselves off the hook where they don't have to find anybody anymore and become the joke that you are talking about because they can just point to
changes are coming.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're fixing it.
Yeah.
We're doing something about it. Hey, DraftKings, get out of my backside.
Yeah,
we are going to do something about it in the offseason, but I can't do anything about it right now. That was what other news leaked from the GM meetings? Do you think that was the only thing on the docket?
No, of course not. They talked about several things, I'm sure.
They have this meeting every year.
Yeah.
How many people actually knew that?
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah, nothing else came
Because
out.
why? How much news leaks out of this meeting every year? The answer is none.
None, yeah.
And now we're going, oh, they have a GM meeting?
Uh-huh.
Because news leaked out of it. Why did news leak out of it? This is why. So they don't have to find the Wizards, and they don't look like hypocrites because they are doing something about it, Ben. Even though, and this was part of my point for bringing up all that joke cat nonsense that they're talking about, none of it fixes it. None of it fixes it. None of it's all PR. It's all a duck. Adam Silver is way, way, way too interested in the For You section of his Twitter feed. He's way too into it. It's amazing how online this is really true in business, not just the NBA. But I mean, people that have these gross overreactions to a few wingnuts that may or may not be even real on Twitter. But this is a PR stunt. This is so he doesn't have to find teams. Unless he really has it out for the Jazz, I don't think they'll get fined. They'll just continue with the song and dance they've been doing for several years now. The NBA will look the other way because that's what they actually want to do. And they can just point to the news that broke yesterday that they're doing something about it.
I think you're right that bad press is worse than doing something. Does that make sense? They are more threatened by the bad press of it all than they are the actual action of the teams not playing their players.
If they keep finding teams, they keep ending up in the news.
They do. It becomes a big story, and it's not necessarily a story they want. So yes, I do. You believe you go back now 2 weeks when the Jazz got fined, or a week when the Jazz got fined, and it's very easy to point to, Adam Silver needed to have something to point to at his press conference, that they are addressing it. And then he comes out of his press conference with, look at this outline we have. We've got all these crazy potential ideas. Even during the break, I said maybe we'll take draft picks away. Now everybody for the next, it's 15 games because the last 10 games of the season, people are really going to start focusing on what the playoff matchups are going to be. So this narrative is going to be gone almost entirely outside of the 4, 5, 6 teams that are seriously tanking still at that point. And yes, they won't have to. They won't have to struggle with it. And 15 games is a month, so they're going to deal with a month more of this narrative. With you're right, the Band-Aid of we're going to fix it, and then they're not going to worry about it. And they will do some minor switches. They're going to do the top 4 protected, lottery protected thing. I have no doubt about that. How much they are actually willing to fix, I don't know.
In a way, Adam Silver and the NBA has created this mess for itself by talking about it and by finding teams. Because how they've gotten away with it, I don't know if that's how I want to put it, but why this hasn't been this big of issue is because they've just ignored it. They've pretended like it doesn't happen. It's been a song and dance. That's why they fined Dallas when Jason Kidd talked about it. Right. And the whole point was, don't talk about it. Stop talking about it. Because that's what's working against them now, is that we are talking about it, is that Salt Lake has become, or not just Salt Lake, but, the Jazz fans have become the hotbed of tanking.
Yeah.
It's because they're the ones who've gotten fined. And I've seen the power of this market and its willingness to express its opinion work in the past. Where was Bill Hancock coming on when the BCS was such a controversy? He was coming on in Utah because it was the center of the antitrust argument that was the BCS.
Right.
And it made a difference. Mark Shurtleff was on this radio station, who was the attorney general of Utah at the time.
Right.
Talking about, it changed sports at the time. So the fact that Jazz fans have a loud voice in all of this and is part of the conversation is not a shocking thing to me. But the only reason it's a controversy is because people are talking about it.
Yes, exactly
right.
And
he's brought that on the NBA himself by finding the Jazz and by finding these teams, ironically, in a way to pretend like he was doing something about it. Because the problem is that you have been letting justice not be served for decades. So you can't start choosing to do it now because all of a sudden you have to fine half the league every night.
Again,
which they can't do. So they're not going to.
It was the idiocy of the whole problem. From the very first day we really started talking about this, now 2 weeks ago, Bobby Marks singling out the Jazz was ridiculous for this reason. You were trying to find a scapegoat for a problem that is across the NBA, which is exactly going back to the Olympic Committee and everything, trying to find a single scapegoat to pin everything on, or not going to the playoffs in college football, or not having access to a championship game. You were trying to find a scapegoat in one specific situation, and it really mattered, and everyone got squeaky here in the state of Utah. So Bobby Marks talking about it in the first place was silly. And then the bad press of Adam Silver responding to it probably did make the problem worse and set a standard that we knew was not going to be enforceable. And now it's not going to be enforceable the rest of the year, which is why, again, this whole thing was so ridiculous and why I think there was some legitimately justifiable non-performative outrage in the state of Utah because we knew this is where this was headed. Everybody knew this was going to be the problem because, again, you know it when you see it. It's such a low bar because we all see it every night in the NBA.
Yes, and they were picking on the Jazz, and that is all true. It was using them to be an example or however silly. No, it gets back to weak leadership, honestly. If David Stern were still in charge, it would have been different. Because what are the two stories that have leaked out, one courtesy of our own Tony Jones, Adam Silver's motivations here, is that Sam Presti's complaining because he wants the Jazz pick, so he's going to complain to Silver about it, and that the gambling companies are complaining, right? How would David Stern have handled this situation? He would have said, Sam, shut up.
Yeah, right.
Shut up, lose my number. And he would have told the gambling companies, you know what? You're lucky to be here. Shut up.
Yeah.
Lose my number. But Adam Silver said, oh, sure, Sam. I'll do something about it. I'd be happy to. I'm going to find the Jazz immediately.
Yeah. You're right. He went to the For You page, which includes Sam Presti's anger.
No, are you a leader or not? I mean, Roger Goodell would have said, shut up. Lose my number. But weak leadership. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a real bad sign. If the gambling company having sway with the NBA commissioner, if that is true, which I don't doubt it, by the way, but if that's true, then that's as good a reason for any for a guy to go. Like,
absolutely.
He's got to go. If you're in the pocket of gambling, because we're already playing fast and loose with the line here.
Correct.
If you are in the pocket of big gambling, you have got to go.
Yeah.
There has to be a hard line in between that. There has to be. So, I don't know. He's brought a lot of this on himself, though.
No question about it. By poor leadership, by weak leadership, and you're exactly right. By being inconsistent, and by he has let the fox into the hen house with the gambling, and he doesn't know how to get it out.
No,
obviously, and he made everybody rich. The reason why people have rejected this, probably in the first place, outside of the fear of the games becoming fixed, which has already started to happen with Chauncey and Jonte and Terry Rozier and all these different people who are involved in, at the very least, trying to get personal unders or potentially fixing games altogether. The fear beyond this is that, you become beholden to this more powerful entity or this enormously powerful entity that nobody wanted to get in bed with. At least the smart people recognized, it's a lot of money, but you're selling your soul, essentially. And it seems like Adam Silver was willing to sell the league's soul.
So it's hilarious to me because they've really created all of this. But I assure you, to bring it back full circle, no, I can't. I say assure. I have no idea. But I think the finding is over.
Be interesting to watch.
And I think the news yesterday is the reason, because now they can point at something and say, we are doing something about it. And it's fair and just because we're not going to do it this year. But guess what? The problem's going to be solved in the offseason when none of the garbage that they put out yesterday. You know what it reminds me of, honestly? It reminds me of the bubble. Where, do you remember when they released, Monson wrote a whole column about it, when they released all of the rules about the bubble? Mm-hmm. And some of them were just ludicrous.
Nonsensical, yeah.
Like, one of them was you could not play doubles ping pong. Singles ping pong, fine.
Right.
Doubles ping pong, however.
You couldn't reuse a ball after a point. There were all sorts of rules. Yeah.
Silliness. And Gordon said, well, why would they do it if it wasn't for a reason? And I said, to get you to write about it.
Yeah. Or to get you to think it's okay.
Yeah, to look how seriously that we are taking this, to get you out of the way, to get you to stop complaining. This is how serious we're taking it. No doubles ping pong at any time.
Draw the line.
At any time. Now, beer pong's fine. I mean, let's not get crazy here. But doubles ping pong?
I mean,
absolutely not.
These guys were playing basketball against each other that same day, breathing and sweating and bleeding on each other. But doubles ping pong.
It's out. No, so they can point at this stupid stuff. And they're going, hey, we're getting rid of top 8 protected picks, so look out.
Yeah.
We're taking this super serial. Super serial, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned. Top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Coming up next, Jacob Mann, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Mann, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Join Scotty G and friends coming up today at Kenny J's Barbecue from noon to 3. It's the 60 in 60 ranking show at Kenny J's Barbecue, located 11610 District Drive in South Jordan. Go get some delicious food and help with the 60 and 60.
Absolutely.
Sounds like I can't believe that we're starting to crunch through 60 and 60. It just goes to show. Oh, it's the re-rank today. I was going to say it goes to show how college football truly has become a year-round sport, which is...
It is true.
Which definitely is true. Although it does feel like we are in the quietest of times.
Yeah. For college football?
Yeah, I mean, spring ball, just wait until the rash of transfers after spring ball, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though there's only one window. How did that ever work? And how is that going to work this year? And will we actually see spring practices because coaches will trust that their players won't transfer?
No, we will never see spring ball again.
Remember, Bronco wouldn't even let anybody in the building at Utah State. I think Scotty wanted to go, and they were like, sorry, voice of the Aggies.
You the lunatic? Yeah.
Sorry, Scotty G, but you could let something slip.
Yep. A player caught a pass at a Utah spring game, and he transferred immediately, and that was the end of it. Last time you got to watch a Kyle Whittingham practice.
But, I mean, I don't know how much I guess the big discussion, how much are the regulations they're even trying to put in, having a transfer portal, how much does that even matter? Because could you just transfer and sue and play right? I mean.
Yeah. You can just withdraw from school. You're not even in the transfer portal at that point. You're just not in school anymore, right? That's the workaround we've seen for a lot of players.
Do they handcuff you to the radiator in the math building?
Only if you're a quarterback in the Big Ten. Only if you play at Washington.
No, if you're a quarterback in the Big Ten, you get to smoke out the locker room.
Yeah.
Did you see that video?
Which one?
The Michigan. They were smoking out. They were smoking out the locker room.
Okay, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, but if you're the star quarterback, you get to do that sort of thing.
Absolutely. But you can't transfer.
I'd laugh if the smoke alarm went off and it's like, don't worry about it. All right. It's time for the top 3 stories of the day. KSLSports.com. Brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the very finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right. What is number 1 today, Christian?
Number 1, the Jazz back in action after the All-Star break, and that injury report is lengthy.
The Utah Jazz here, I will just read it for you. Larry Markkinen has been downgraded to questionable with an illness after not being on the injury report last night. Keontae George is still out with his right ankle sprain. Jaren Jackson obviously out for the year. Walker Kessler out for the year. Yusuf Nurkic out for nose injury management. Something happened over the break. And Oscar Tshiebwe is questionable with
Did you
concussion.
say nose injury management? He's got a nose injury?
Nose, semicolon, injury management. Must have taken an elbow to the face.
Okay. Yeah, that's very specific. I like it.
As we said, I don't know how much Nurk we're going to see the rest of the year, especially in games of this ilk.
Well, yeah, he's got a sprained nose.
Yeah, his nose. He's got ingrown nose hair, which is a real doozy.
He's having some serious nose
those are
issues.
the worst.
I had a friend who seriously broke his nose, and it has absolutely impacted his life from then on.
Oh, nose pain is the worst. Yeah, deviated septum
still absolutely impacts his life. Poor guy.
No question about it.
So prayers up for Nurk's nose.
Nurk nose. He's got a bad case of Nurk nose.
I don't know if he could recover.
let me see if I can NBA injury reports. Let me see if I can pull up what the Memphis Grizzlies injury report is so far as well.
15 healthy noses.
The Grizzlies have Santi Aldama is out. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is out for the season. I think he's getting his pinky finger rearranged. I'm not kidding. I think that's what they said, realignment. Brandon Clark is out. Walt Clayton Jr., doubtful, unfortunately. Right calf contusion. Cedric Howard, their good young player, their rookie top 10 pick, out with a right knee hyperextension. Zach Edey out. Stress reactions at his foot. He just might not play very long. Too big. Ty Jerome out. Injury management. John Morant out. UCL sprain. And Scottie Pippen Jr. out with left great toe. Injury management.
How many players do you have? 7?
You have to have at least 8 dressed.
8?
Yeah.
Are they going to make it?
The Grizz? Going to be close. It's going to be very tight.
That's 9 players on the injury report right now.
Mm-hmm. Solved. Problem solved.
Ben, you got a Grizzlies jersey?
I can probably go get one. Go to the thrift store and see if they have, old Zach Randolph jersey floating around or something I can throw on. Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson's available. He's in uniform.
Slow-mo is ready to go. The slow-mo revenge game.
We'll see Taylor Hendricks play tonight. We'll see him trying to take it out on his old team. And then on the flip side, Jazz will probably play John Conchar and Vince Williams Jr. So Jazz are still going to have a good chance to win this game. The Grizzlies are terrible, and they're resting everybody as well. But early game, 5 o'clock. It's not always the case on Fridays or in Memphis, so getting a little bit of a extra time tonight.
Underrated, hilarious bit in a movie is when Jim Carrey has the nose whistle in Me, Myself, and Irene, and he's running to catch the train, and you just hear the whistle.
Whistling.
I think Nurk has a little bit of the nose whistle going.
Probably, yeah.
Rough.
It's not great.
What's next?
Number 2, Team USA Hockey. The women take gold yesterday against Canada. Men taking on Slovakia later today.
Can I ask you this? Do you think a hockey player, man or woman, has ever missed a game due to a nose issue?
I bet a puck to the face will, change your availability pretty quickly. But for this type of nose issue,
there's no way. I mean, even if they were missing the game because of a nose issue, there's no way they're putting that on the report. I mean,
no. Well, they don't. They
it would be upper body. No. But I mean, call it like an orbital bone or something.
Yeah,
right. You can't put nose.
I agree.
You can't put nose injury on the report.
Yeah, you're not going to put nose, questionable.
Yeah, like you're out with the nose.
Also, someone's going to come punch you. Now, the problem is Yusuf Nurkic does get punched a lot as well. He is the most punchable player in the NBA, apparently. Not because I feel that way, but because he's been in a lot of fights before where guys seem to want to punch him.
When is the next home game?
I think they have 2 games on the road this weekend?
If you are not in front of Nurk at the first home game and ask the question, how's your nose? I'm going to be pretty bent.
Oh, we're not going to see Nurk. I mean, honestly, we're not going to see Nurk again. Especially in games against New Orleans. At home, Jazz need to lose both of those games because New Orleans has a chance to leap the Jazz. So if the Jazz can lose next Thursday, it's funny, the Jazz come back from this break and they basically stay on the break. They play tonight, then they don't play again until Monday, then they don't play again until Thursday. Jazz have all this time off right now, and then they're going to have a more condensed schedule to close the season.
Nurk's nose needs
a week.
Needs the rest.
So we'll see what Nurk nose can do.
I'm sorry, we're talking about hockey.
Talk hockey?
No.
Awesome game. In all honesty, Canada didn't dominate, but scored the shorthanded goal to open the second period, and really looked to be in control the rest of the game. 2 minutes left, or 2.5 minutes left. The U.S. team pulls the goalie and then scores pretty quickly, about 30 seconds after they pulled the goalie. Send it to OT, and it was long. It was kind of a longer OT, 3-on-3 still, but Keller was able to put it in the back of the net. So very cool game, and an all-time great. And what was, I thought, the best day of the Olympics for the Americans so far yesterday, including Alyssa Liu winning the gold in figure skating.
Oh, you were clowning figure skating like the other day.
I realized part of it is because, it's still not great. But she was awesome. She skates. She's very fun to watch skate. Also, because the Americans are always terrible in it. They showed her she's one of 8 women to ever win a medal or a gold in 70 years. It's like, no wonder I don't like it. It's been 20 years since we've had an American to root for.
Who was the last one?
Hughes. Am I right? Was that the woman who won here in Salt Lake City?
Carla?
To look at the gold medal.
Carla Hughes? Well, what's her name? Yamaguchi was pretty good. I was in the
She was
90s.
good. Yeah, she was really good. 92.
And Nancy, of course, who I believe won silver. Does that sound right? We're putting way too much time into this.
So, yeah, anyways, Alyssa Liu was very fun. I thought it was fun to finally get an American to root for.
Sarah Hughes, does that sound right? Anyway, what's next, Christian?
Number 3, earlier you guys brought up some of these
Sarah Hughes, you're exactly right. Good job. Here in Salt Lake City.
anti-tanking measures. Are any of these going to work?
No.
The men, by the way, play in the Olympics coming up here in a little bit. Canada still down 12 minutes to go, 2-1. Dominating shots on goal, 26-12, but can't get it across the net. That's why these Olympic games are so crazy. No, the anti-tanking.
None of these would work. I mean, none of them would prevent taking entirely. I mean, you could pick some of your favorites, but I honestly don't even think they put that much thought into this whole thing. I think they just released a list of stuff to point out, like, hey.
I saw this. I saw someone suggest this. Maybe this is an idea. What if we try this? Yeah, what it's going to do is it's just going to change how teams tank. It's not going to change tanking. It's not going to change the fact that it's going to exist. It's just going to change how teams do it. And so you just got to figure out how you're going to do it to best benefit the system.
Do you have a least favorite?
I think flattening the lottery odds entirely does encourage a lot of teams to miss the playoffs because you're saying, oh, man, we got a 6% chance to win the lottery now? Like, that's what you get when you're, like, in 9th place.
Every team from the 3rd seed down would
Should
be
tank.
trying to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, right. If you don't have home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs, or, like, you're the Utah Jazz in 2021 who just lose to the Los Angeles Clippers in the second round with the best record in the NBA, you realize, like, oh, man, maybe next year we should just tank, and because we're not going to get better with
our current
team with the salary all locked up. But if we could somehow get a 6% chance, or, 100 divided by 14 is about 6 or 7%. If we have a 7% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick and then adding that to Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, then we're cooking. Then we really got something going. Like, that team's going to be encouraged to tank.
My least favorite one was that you cannot get a top 3 pick after
making the conference
final, because that is so just a one-off exemption. It's the Pacers this year.
Yep.
Kind of the Warriors a few years ago when they got.
I don't remember what the Raptors did after Kawhi left.
Drafted Wiseman. No, they were pretty good after Kawhi left. I think they made the playoffs.
They still had some good players.
The next year. That it's like such a one-off example. Like, what is that accomplishing?
Yeah,
Nothing.
I'm totally with you. Yeah, it doesn't change anything. If you want, again, I have said maybe the top 30 or all 30 teams have equal opportunity to win the lottery. And if you wanted to say yes, but the teams that made the conference finals the year before can't win the lottery, they don't have the ability to move into the top 2 draft picks. Okay, that way, this year's Thunder don't end up drafting whoever, Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonza. Okay, maybe that's it. So the other 26 teams are actually the ones competing and everyone gets a 4% chance. Maybe that's more interesting, but they didn't even put that on the list. That's not out there.
Nope.
So we'll see what they actually do. But you're going to have to really significantly flatten tanking altogether if you want to actually change it and stop teams from tanking, and they're not going to.
I still think just get rid of the draft. Keep the cap, get rid of the draft. The rule now is you can't sign a free agent if you're over the cap. So if Cooper Flagg came out and the Lakers were over the cap, well,
can't get him.
Too bad. And by the way, the whole shoe company thing people were throwing out, that's dumb. Because if the shoe company's player isn't playing, then the shoe company isn't marketing that shoe. And that applies to maybe 2 or 3 players, and pretty much no rookie ever has gotten their own shoe outside of Donovan Mitchell, and it was because he was with Adidas.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, they needed him.
They needed him. So I don't buy that shoe company crap. That's around the edges, and by the way, still exists now. So I don't know how getting rid of the draft would have that. I've seen that narrative everywhere. In fact, I saw an agent yesterday on the Snap Talk say, yeah, that's not a thing. So
small owners are never going to let it happen. I did hear an interesting idea of flatten the lottery odds completely, but also have the top overall pick be so exorbitantly expensive that if you win it, you have to trade all your good players to keep him. So like if you were the Thunder this year and you get the number 1 overall pick, but it costs $30 million a year, you can't afford to keep him.
Yeah.
You're going to be so far over the luxury tax at that point that you have to trade Chet Holmgren or you have to trade Jalen Williams to make room for him on your roster, or you have to trade the pick.
But you are assuming that the number one pick is any good and that somebody would
Exactly
want it.
right.
Somebody
the problem is
has
when you draft Zachary Rieseshay and he
Right.
costs $35 million a year, and you're like, I don't want Zachary Rieseshay.
Right.
And now we're submarine because our salary cap is in hell for the next 5 years
and
with
you
this
forced
bum.
me to make a pick.
You
yeah.
forced me to draft this guy?
And pay him that. Yeah, I
Correct.
know.
Exactly right. That's the problem with all of these tanking rules, which is the first time you mention it, it sounds like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then you do literally any bit of work to pull the thread on the sweater, and it just unravels so quickly. And that's the problem with basically every one of these issues, which is how I think where we got to where we are with tanking right now, which is, what if this is the best system? What if this is actually the best way to do it? And you're just going to find more ways to, A, put cats in the walls, and B, make it harder for other teams to compete. And we might run into that.
No, I think they're doing this to get out of the headlines, and then they will do as little as possible.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You've already seen Mark Cuban come out and start the PR campaign for tanking is good.
Tanking's good, actually. Yep. Because it sells hope, and hope is what teams want.
It's a PR thing. This is all a PR thing.
Canada just tied it up.
But yet we're also worried about justice because we're, good people, that we have to nitpick everything and say, see, they did. And it's not about that at all.
Yep.
At all. Adam Silver, you'd have to – he doesn't care about tanking. He doesn't care at all.
He cares right now about winning the press cycle, the news cycle.
He should go back into his closet with the no sunlight and just stay there. If he wants to solve this problem,
Go
he
back
should
in the
just
casket, yeah.
yeah,
More
go back in the crypt.
Yeah.
Well, closets are dark,
Sure.
which is really all I was alluding to. Thank you for that, Ben. All right, stay tuned. We'll have more next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Who's got it better than us?
Your home for the best sports coverage in Utah. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Want to remind you about University of Utah Health. Hope is in our DNA. Learn more at uofuhealth.org. Also, Win Ticket Wednesday, your chance to win big every week on the station. Coming up next week, Ben, Stained. Tickets to go see Stained.
Okay.
You seem like a Stained guy.
Do I?
Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour featuring Seether with special guests Huba Stank and Hinder.
Wow.
The Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on October 7th. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com or listen all day on Wednesday.
Stained, Seether, Hoobastank, and who was the fourth?
Hinder.
Hinder. Okay.
Like breaking the rules in racquetball. Hinder.
Hindering the rules.
Well, it's you
hindering my progress.
The hinder, the call is you're in the way of your opponent.
Yeah.
I think
You're hindering them.
I haven't played racquetball in a while. Christian, you strike me as a racquetball
Yeah,
guy.
you got racquetball energy.
It looks very dangerous.
Racquetball?
You got to wear goggles.
Yeah, you have to wear goggles,
Yeah,
man.
that thing whips you in the eye, and you're going to be in real trouble.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody describe racquetball as dangerous. Have you ever been hit with a racquetball?
That's why 40-year-old
No.
plus
It
people
doesn't
play
hurt
it.
that bad.
And they have, I bet you the racquetball industry is absolutely reeling right now with pickleball.
I love pickleball.
It's the same level of danger. You're just as likely to blow out a knee. But you're not going to lose an eye because you get hit in the eye with a pickleball. So in that sense,
So it's not the same.
Well, you're
Not
not
quite
going
the
to
same.
lose an eye getting hit with a racquetball either. We used to play a game where I can't even remember, but the punishment was you had to go stand up by the wall and they got to.
serve it at your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hurts, but it's not like I didn't have to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I didn't fracture my humerus.
You guys played with actual racquetballs?
Yeah.
Not ping pong?
You play racquetball with ping pong balls?
No, sting
No.
pong.
Yeah, sting pong.
Oh,
or
sure, we've
bareback,
done that, but
ping
we did
pong,
it
or
with
whatever it's
racquetball
called.
too.
Okay. That sounds painful. But yeah, it's not going to kill you.
That wasn't
To your
bad.
point.
Well, don't make a mistake. Don't lose.
Yeah, don't lose. That should be the punishment for tanking. Racquetball, bareback racquetball.
I've said
Just
it.
don't lose.
I've said it. I think it should be the punishment for losing a challenge. The head coach.
Gets to throw the ball. Has to have the ball thrown at him.
Well, I said get kicked in the groin, but we could
Oh, okay.
we could
That's
figure
right.
out
Yours was pretty straightforward.
like the
I was thinking
other.
you put him at half court blindfolded.
No, the other team gets to pick their most heavy-footed player,
Okay.
and then we probably wouldn't have a lot of ridiculous challenges.
Well, you wouldn't have Nurk Nose sitting out because you would want Nurk on the court every time.
Oh,
because if
yeah.
there was a bad challenge, he's your designated groin kicker.
You want that boot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want that there.
The
yeah.
Bosnian boot.
Yeah.
Exactly. But who was it? It was several games before the All-Star break. So was some coach challenged a call in the last minute of the game when they were up like 15?
Yeah.
Who was that? You remember what I'm talking about?
I don't think it was the Thunder, but it could have been.
It was like win or lose.
Yeah.
That person should be punished severely.
Yeah, right. Who cares at this point? We're just trying to get out of here. Everyone's trying to wrap this game up. It's like dunking in the final seconds of a game that's already been decided.
Like
Why are you calling
those
a challenge?
classless Aggies. Scotty was trying to defend that.
I don't have a problem with dunking late in the game.
It's classless. It's not against the rules.
So am I. Yeah, I don't care.
It's
That's why
just
I don't,
classless.
Yeah, so am I. So is the entire state of Florida. Who cares? We let them vote.
But Coach Calhoun was trying to couch it as, well, this matters. When, margin of victory matters. It's like, they have 4 points?
Yeah.
I don't think it really does matter.
No, it doesn't.
So just own it.
Yeah. So we were happy to beat them. Glad to dunk.
Dunk right in their face.
Guy wanted to get out there and dunk, and glad he did.
That's what I do. That's what we do. We're classless.
That should be our identity. Mick Cronin's classless.
Sportsmanship is not a priority.
Mick Cronin doesn't hide it.
Not a priority at Utah State. Other things a priority at Utah State? Sportsmanship? Nope.
Doesn't need to be.
Not a thing.
Bronco would have a real problem with that.
Is Bronco a good sport? I have no idea.
I don't think he's a good loser. Like, not necessarily he's a sore loser, but I don't think he is all that gracious or warm after losing. But I suspect he's a good sport.
I don't know. He took a job at Utah State. I kind of doubt it.
Why? Because it's a classless university, is what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm saying the entire organization
Is that why Scotty works there?
Class. Yeah, 100%.
Why don't you work there?
Oh, I have tons of class.
I've been thrown out of classier places than this.
I've said that
Correct.
while getting thrown out of a place that wasn't all that classy, honestly.
Not at Utah State.
Not at Utah
No,
State.
you were not getting thrown out of the forum?
No, I was not. The Spectrum.
The Spectrum, excuse me. Mixing up my arenas. Yeah, you're not getting thrown out of the student union building.
No. But yeah, classless.
Yeah.
Dunking on Penny Hardaway of all. He was complimenting the fans, not the team.
Yeah, Penny was mad. Penny was frustrated.
All right, stay tuned. We'll have more coming up next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.